CTV News with Sarah Freemark.
Around like an obstacle course. The potholes were so deep. I had 2 tires that were damaged.
Getting a failing grade, a road in our region has made the list as one of the worst in the province. Good evening. It's a tool meant to let leaders know which roads are in desperate need of fixing, but it's still never flattering to make the cut. From provincial problems to regional roads in a rut, let's go to CTV's Rob Cooper, who joins us live tonight from one of the worst roads in Innisfil with the findings from the annual CAA survey. Rob.
Yeah, Sarah, there are some new roads on that list, but some familiar ones too. Certainly people across the province had their chance to have their say about which roads are worse, and tonight the results are in.
The CAA survey asked people across the province to nominate the worst roads in their area. For drivers, it's been an especially bad year of bumps and thumps across the county.
You have to go really slowly. You never know when you're coming across a pothole. All of a sudden, it's there, and you slammed into it.
Line 6 in Innisfil takes the top spot for the worst road in Central Region. It takes home the dubious honor of being number 10 on the province-wide list. The 20th line in Innisfil is right behind it at number 2 in the region.
People were swerving around these big, huge potholes, and yeah, it was pretty bad there for a while.
The town of Innisfil says it's been preparing for a massive upgrade to the 6th line starting this summer. In total, Innisfil will spend $10 million improving 22 kilometers of roads this year. Work on the 6th line will begin in the coming weeks.
All roads have a life cycle, typically at the end of the day, and so some of them, with the amount of traffic on them, will get damaged and degrade faster than we would anticipate them to do, and so that's why we do annual inspections and then an updated road needs study every 5 years.
CAA says its survey also found that about 70% of respondents don't believe enough is being done on roads in the province.
So we're happy to see some of the smaller communities come out and use this campaign to nominate a road. And we've seen, communities band together to nominate a road, and it ends up on the list and gets action from the municipality. So
Huronia Road in Barrie is back on the list again. The CAA says giving drivers the opportunity to voice concerns about their roads has made a difference in getting many local projects going.
The number one reason for this year's campaign, overwhelmingly, as well as poor road maintenance, uneven roads as well, and then also some traffic congestion and some cycling and pedestrian issues.
Now, this is the 23rd year that CAA has done this worst roads list. I had an opportunity to speak with staff at the city of Barrie today. They say this kind of list often confirms what they already hear from its drivers and always encourage its residents to report bad roads if they see one. Reporting live, I'm Rob Cooper, sending it back to Sarah in the newsroom.
Okay, thanks for that, Rob. A 27-year-old woman is in stable condition after the SUV she was driving plummeted 16 feet into a construction site pit behind the Bayfield Mall in Barrie. Firefighters, police, and paramedics were called to the scene at 7:20 on Wednesday night. Fire crews helped get the driver out of the vehicle, then worked with paramedics to lift her out of the site by ladder. She was taken to RVH in stable condition. Now, police did say they don't believe that alcohol or drugs were a factor in this collision, but say that the construction site appeared to be properly marked, including a surrounding metal fence. The trial continued in Bracebridge today of a man charged with the murder of a fellow inmate at the Beaver Creek Prison in Gravenhurst. CTV's Mike Arcelides reports on the case, but a warning that this story contains graphic images and details that may be disturbing to some of our viewers.
Devin Saunders arrived at the Bracebridge courthouse, where a jury will soon decide whether he acted in self-defense on the night of December 18, 2022, when he stabbed and killed his former cellmate, Leslie Ma, in the kitchen area of the Gravenhurst medium security prison. Saunders was already serving a life sentence for the first-degree murder of his girlfriend, Chanel Pierre, nearly 20 years ago. The court has heard Ma was stabbed several times after the Crown alleges Saunders, while wearing a winter coat, used a rock to first strike Ma in the head in a common area, as they were then seen moving toward the neighboring kitchen. Within moments, a fellow inmate told guards to call an ambulance. Correctional officers discovered Ma leaned up against the kitchen cabinets with his head slumped forward and blood coming from his front and side torso. The Crown alleges Saunders planned and carried out the murder, while the defense says the accused acted in self-defense. fearing for months that Ma and his friends inside the prison were going to kill him. The defense told the jury in its opening remarks that Ma had a beef with Saunders over one of his associates at a Manitoba prison where they had both done time. Saunders, the defense argues, had previously been assaulted by a group of men in the shower, and the defense says Ma had threatened his life. Saunders, who is now 57, was convicted in 2015 of murdering his girlfriend, who was shot in the head inside her car that was found burned near the West Edmonton Mall. Saunders wasn't arrested until 4 years after his former partner's death.
I got nothing, I didn't.
And has maintained his innocence, hoping to one day overturn his murder conviction. The trial enters its third and final week on Monday, when it's expected the defense will call its first witness to the stand. Mike Arsleedy, CTV News, Bracebridge.
Speed cameras may be banned in Ontario, but the effect is still being felt in one southern Georgian Bay community. During a council meeting on Wednesday, details on cameras in Midland were released. One camera was put on William Street on September 2nd and deactivated on November 23rd. Another camera on Yonge Street was planned but never went live before the amendment to the legislation. The camera on William Street issued more than 4,300 penalties, which resulted in more than $500,000 in fines issued. After expenses are paid, the town expects revenues of more than $263,000 if all of the money is collected. The owner of one of the dispensaries shut down during Barrie Mayor Alex Nuttall's crackdown in the downtown made a presentation to council last night.
We've complied with everything the mayor has asked us to do. The crime has not changed downtown, so clearly we weren't the problem. Are we able to reopen, or would that be okay? Just wondering, because there's a stabbing just the other day. You know, it's has nothing to do with marijuana. It has everything to do with fentanyl, crack, all the homeless people downtown. We have not broken any laws. We have abided by everything you guys have asked.
The meeting was for the public to give input into a bylaw allowing the city to fine building owners who host illegal businesses. Mayor Nuttall says the intention is to target shops which are breaking the law. Post-secondary school may be on summer break, but one location in downtown Barrie is still a busy spot. CTV's Luke Samard has an update on Lakehead University's expansion and what students and teachers can expect once it opens.
It's all coming together in downtown Barrie. The city will soon have a university at the former bus terminal. Lakehead officials and Barrie Mayor Alex Nuttall toured the site this morning
to really see the transformation, and we're going to have 4 really state-of-the-art labs here for our learners in a variety of programs.
The Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics Hub will feature 4 undergraduate programs and graduate programs.
We'll have electrical engineering, mechatronics engineering, software engineering, and computer science, and then we'll also have some graduate students here in electrical and computer science areas, so doing research at the master's level and the PhD.
With the new programs targeting industries right here in Barrie and the surrounding region.
When you think about the offerings here and the students and what they're going to learn and the certifications they're going to get, these are lifetime careers, and it's really attached to the industry and the manufacturing base that we have in this city.
We're probably looking at a capacity of 700 to 800 students in this facility, combined with the 5 Ross facility when we're fully up and running.
With classrooms and labs coming together.
Seeing the machinery come in, the classrooms take shape, and the beautiful space these students are going to have, across the street from Lake Simcoe and in our old transit terminals.
With this project and Lakehead's Georgian campus in the north end, the mayor says the city is becoming an educational hub.
We're seeing in the city of Barrie is a place where you can raise a family, where your children can get educated and they can get those career jobs they're looking for once they've received their education, and then they can go and raise their own family.
School officials say the final touches will be put in place at the end of August, and 24 Maple and 5 Ross Street will be open for students in the fall semester. Sarah?
All right, Luke, well, there's a reason why you're in Bob's Garden tonight. You've got double duty. The weather is feeling great. How's it looking ahead?
Well, Sarah, the weather's fantastic. We're talking about school with Lakehead University. School's just about to let out for the summer, and the temperatures have really reflected that over the last few days and into the next few days as well. We saw some fairly clear blue skies outside. Will it remain? Yes, it will. We got the good news there. Let's go take a look at our first look at weather, brought to you by the graveldrivewayguide.com, your local gravel driveway expert. We're seeing 25 degrees outside in Barrie now. Now the winds are going to feel a little bit cooler if you're heading out for a walk after dinner tonight. Those are coming from the northwest at about 20 kilometers an hour. Here's a quick look at temperatures around our region. 27 degrees in Orillia as well as Collingwood, 28 in Owen Sound, 25 degrees further north in Gravenhurst, 23 in Parry Sound, and further south 27 in Newmarket and 29 in Toronto. A quick look at our radar and satellite. You are seeing a whole lot of nothing on that radar, which is great news. But we could see some partly cloudy conditions as we head out into our evening hours and overnight. Now, Sarah, it's not all smooth sailing. We could, in fact, see some rain, but you'll have to stay tuned. I'll tell you when.
Well, and you now know that I will have schools out for the summer on repeat, stuck in my head for the rest of the night. I'm sure I'm not alone. Thanks for that, Luke. Now, despite an often wet start to the season, on a day like today, it's clear that spring has sprung. But, of course, with that sunshine and dry weather comes the chance for wildfires. CTV's Jack Moore spoke with fire officials in the north of our region today as fire conditions climb. Jack, what did you learn?
Well, Sarah, it is a sea of red in central Ontario, everywhere from Gravenhurst up to Timmins, Sault Ste. Marie, all the way over to Renfrew. Fire conditions either high or extreme out there.
Just a month ago, much of this part of our region was underwater. Now, bone dry. These signs across Bracebridge show the wildland fire risk.
It's a heightened level of awareness that it is a danger out there in the bush.
It's a dry plant cover that's the biggest risk, ample fuel for a possible forest fire.
It's the top two layers that are dried out that are basically giving us the potential issues for any wildland fires, is that they can catch easy and spread quickly.
It's the time of year that even small fires can get out of hand.
Having that distance away from combustible materials, having a good water source on hand or some method of extinguishing the fire in case it does go away, and don't leave it unattended.
The rating is also high in neighboring Severn Township.
Really making sure that you're burning the clean, dry wood that we're looking for, as opposed to construction materials, which can cause that snap, crackle, pop, and send embers.
Now the warm weather has many looking to spend a little bit of time outside, maybe have a fire, and you still can for now.
Through all this, we don't want to lessen the enjoyment level of our residents. We're not out there to say no campfires. We need them to do it safely. If we know that conditions are bad, we need to put that fire ban on.
Even a little rain doesn't make it safe. It takes time for the ground and plants to soak in the water needed to make it hard for fire to spread.
So if you are headed north for the weekend, local fire departments are warning you to keep an eye on those conditions and check the fire ratings and for any burn bans before you set one. Sarah?
That's our Jack Morris reporting live tonight. The first FIFA World Cup match in Toronto is just over a week away, and today we got a look behind the scenes at Toronto Stadium. FIFA pulled back the curtains on locker rooms and the pitch at Toronto Stadium, which is normally known as BMO Field. There will be 6 matches played here, including Canada's first game on June 12th against Bosnia and Herzegovina.
It's like getting ready for the first day of school. We've worked many years on this, and being able to invite people down, kind of open up behind the curtain of all the hard work of hundreds of thousands of people to get this venue ready to go. We're excited of what we're 8 days away, so we can't wait.
So the 2026 FIFA World Cup kicks off 1 week from today, and speaking of that, the Ontario government is more than doubling the fines for those selling tickets above face value ahead of the World Cup. Premier Doug Ford says the move will help make live entertainment more affordable for the average Canadian.
We're moving extremely fast on this, and we're going to hold people accountable. We've increased the fines, I think, up to $25,000. We're making the list public for people that want to try to take advantage of the taxpayers. We're here to protect the taxpayers. They're there to make a profit.
The new fine structure will take effect on June 10th. That's 2 days ahead of Canada's first World Cup match. And Ford added that FIFA will not be exempt. Some listings on FIFA's official resale platform earlier today still going for above face value. Here at home, it's Canada's largest outdoor student-run auto show, and final preparations are underway at Georgian College.
We have a record-breaking year of students participating in the show this year with over 160 students. It's amazing. I mean, it's the largest student-run auto show in all of Canada, and to be part of it to this level is something that is just truly amazing to me and all my fellow students, and I just couldn't be more appreciative.
This is the 38th edition of the show, hosted at the Barrie campus. The show is entirely organized by the talented minds at the Automotive Business School of Canada. It will feature more than 20 different auto brands from 17 different manufacturers.
This event is the cornerstone of our program. It provides opportunities for students to connect not only with themselves and other members of the Automotive Business School in different years, but also to connect with industry, sponsors, manufacturers, and everyone that kind of comes together to support this event.
The event runs tomorrow from noon to 5, Saturday from 10 to 6, and Sunday from 10 to 5. Rain or shine, tickets are $10 each, and kids 12 and under are free. Well, it may be a lesser-known game, but it's been around for nearly 50 years. Coming up next year on CTV Barrie, where you can give it a try. Cornhole, right here in our region. Plus, from comedy to dance, it's going to be a busy time by the Bay when you can enjoy this theater festival next.
Presented by Paul Sadlin Motors.
Music, it's a small community, so when something's really good, we all want to be part of it.
We have an amazing music scene here. Having people come together in community, listen to some amazing local artists, brings the downtown alive. It brings our city alive.
Troubadour Festival 2026 is going to be off the hook. Road Hammers, got the Watchmen, Bahamas, going to be great.
Thanks for staying with us. Starting today, the 2026 Barrie Theatre Festival with a preview of the shows featured during the 10-day show.
Swords, 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 swords.
Presented by Theatre by the Bay, which is celebrating its 25th season. The event will feature 6 professional productions from right across Canada. The shows feature everything from award-winning comedy and high-energy music to even contemporary dance.
That got me thinking about this Valentine I found in my desk last week. Transformers Valentine.
I think it's something the community needs, you know. I think it's something that people want an excuse to come out and something a little different that is a little not the norm. You know, I love my movies just like anybody else, but having this live interaction is really important. And so one of the things we do at Theatre by the Bay is make sure we provide these experiences for lots of different ages and, you know, enjoy the theatre. Come out and enjoy professional theatre.
The festival officially gets underway tomorrow with opening night and will run until the 13th at the 5 Points Theatre in downtown Barrie. It is a game that started in the 1980s in Cincinnati, Ohio, before spreading across the globe. Known as cornhole today, you can join in on the fun at the Midland Curling Club. Reminds me of my cottage. 16 teams play in Monday's league, 18 teams on Wednesday, or you can join the drop-in leagues. It's easy to keep score as you toss your colored bags into the cornhole, or at least try and hit the board.
Cornhole it's really fun, it's really easy to learn, and the good news is, because a lot of people have played in their backyard and they say, oh, I only play with a beer in my hand. Well, I can tell you this is a licensed facility, our ice rink floor, so you can have your beer in hand while you play your cornhole here.
They get the demographic. There's fun leagues and drop-in cornhole sessions available all spring into the summer, again, at the Midland Curling Club. If you are looking for more information about that, any of the local events that we feature, perhaps you'd like to rewatch the show or touch base with our team, all of that can be done by visiting ctvnews.ca/Barrie or scan the QR code on your screen. Just 2 days now before downtown Barrie will be transformed with the return of the Troubadour Festival Summer Concert Series. So joining us now in the CTV Barrie studio, ready as always, Barrie Mayor Alex Nettle. You certainly look the part. Are you feeling good?
Oh, I'm ready for Saturday night. It's going to be an incredible showcase once again. Obviously, tons of local talent, but to have Jason McCoy and the Roadhammers going, that's going to be a pretty special evening for downtown Barrie.
Let's talk a little bit about how much we've watched the festival change since last year. It started to gain momentum. More and more people wanted to be involved. What does that feel like to be a part of something like that?
I think it's really neat to see the community come together, the donors come together to help make the evening happen. Obviously, the city has stepped up with the use of the taxes that come in from hotels to be able to, attract tourism, but also put a great event on for the residents of Barrie and the surrounding area. It's just got so much momentum at the moment. It's getting recognition, and I know it's going to be a wonderful time, not just in the evenings, but also for families throughout the entire day.
Well, and when we talk about recognition, it's been named one of Ontario's top 100 festivals, so that's very, very exciting. But as you mentioned, we've got family programming this year as well, part of the Treehouse stage. You're a family man. It's nice to be able to start in the day and then transition into the evening, yes?
Oh, 100%. I think it's great for families to be able to go down there. Obviously, you've got the farmers market downtown in the morning, then to be able to go right into the stage there, the Treehouse stage, and have families enjoy that entire event at Troubadour, followed in the evening by what we know will be an awesome local showcase and an amazing, amazing concert put on by Jason and the team.
We're looking at the local openers from last year at Meridian Place, and we just a couple of days ago met McKenna Givens, originally from Aurelia, Kendra Gabrielle, and the Jammers Waffle House. Those are the three choices for this year's local opener series. How special is it, do you think, for those smaller groups to be able to open up for the Roadhammers?
I think it's a pretty awesome opportunity, and it's really about showing Barrie the talent that we have and the surrounding area as well, obviously, but also giving those individuals an opportunity to learn from one of our most seasoned musicians in the country, especially in country music. So I think that's a great opportunity for these young people, and I'm just super excited to see them perform. I think we'll have tons of new fans for them there and ready to cheer them on. So I'm ready, and I hope you guys are too.
I know you've been preparing, and we'll get to that before we finish the interview. But Mr. Mayor, what have downtown businesses been telling you about this uptick?
Oh man, they love Troubadour. Troubadour has really put the city on the map. Obviously you said in the top 100 festivals in Ontario, but I think it's more than that. It's a reason for folks to come downtown, enjoy themselves, to cheer on, to listen to great music, and really to provide that type of community together. And so we're really excited. The downtown vendors are incredibly excited. If you get there early and you're going to the kids stage, make sure you check out some of the amazing shops, because I know that's what we'll be doing.
Finally, we just saw Brett Kissel on stage there, and there was a little glimpse of, yes, Jason McCoy from the Roadhammers, but also you. You set the bar pretty high with that performance last year. Will you be making a return? Can you let people know?
I think there's probably a one and done there, but who knows? Maybe we'll come out and say hi at some point. But they're just such talented people, and to even be on stage with them or around them and just hear how they provide their talent to the world, it was a pretty special experience.
Well, if there's anybody that can convince somebody to break out of their comfort zone, it would be Jason McCoy, the frontman from the Roadhammers. So who knows? A lot could change between now and then. Thanks very much for taking the time to come into the studio.
Thanks for having me, Sarah. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we've been speaking to the Mayor of Barrie, Alex Nuttall. Let's go ahead and bring up the Troubadour Festival Summer Concert Series webpage, because everything you need to know from the beginning to the end of the 5-month festival can be found at ctvnews.ca/Barrie. Still to come, a local athlete's impact is extending beyond the ice. She's being honored with an award inspired by the importance of blood donation. More on that, but first let's check in with Luke. He's in the garden.
Well, Sarah, we've seen some pretty hot temperatures out the last few days, and the humidity that comes with it. We could very well see some rain. I'll tell you when, but first, let's go and take a look at our weather watcher, Brady. Brady's ready for that humidity. He's also ready for school to be let out. He is ready to hang out this summer. Brady, thank you so much for your picture. Stay with us. You're watching CTV News Barrie.
Hey, it's Martin and Steph
from Bounce 104.1.
And next week on the show, we're giving away tickets to see Roxette.
So make sure you're listening Monday to Friday from 5:30 to 10 for your chance to win.
Picture This, brought to you by Bounce 104.1 and Pure Country 106.
That's certainly a framer. What a wonderful collection of photos. We are celebrating happiness this week here on CTV Barrie. How great is that? Continue to capture those photos or dig them up if it's an older one and email them to us. Picture this at ctv.ca. Now, Luke, we've been talking about, oh, that's right. My goodness. A happy 60th wedding anniversary to Jillian and Peter Madsen. Jillian grew up in England but moved to Montreal and met Peter, who was born in Quebec. They were married in June 4th, back in 1966. Now, they had their first child a year later on September 7th. Now, he passed away shortly after birth, but exactly 1 year later, on September 7th to the day, another boy was born, followed by a daughter, Jamie and Aaron. They went on to have 3 grandchildren, Jackson, Shelby, and Wyatt. So a very happy 60th wedding anniversary from all of us. As I was saying, Luke, we've been sharing happy moments this week here on CTV Barrie, photos that come to mind. Anything specific for you?
Yeah, I got 2 for you, Sarah. I got a photo of Doug Gilmour signing my jersey at my first Leafs game as a young boy. And then, of course, an engagement session with my fiance. She was quite surprised and told me, Luke, what is happening? No. Don't do this, no. She said yes anyways, so it's all good. Yes, happy moments. Thank you so much for sending your pictures in. It's a beautiful day. We're seeing sunny skies, not really a cloud in sight, although you could see some clouds start to settle in as you make your way into the later hours of tonight and even overnight. Let's go and take a look at those temperatures right now outside your windows. We're seeing about 27 in Mount Forest, 29 in Owen Sound, 23 in Parry Sound, 25 the further north you go, 25 in Gravenhurst, as well as Algonquin Park, 27 in Newmarket, and 29 in Toronto. Taking a look at the almanac for today, we did see a high of 26 degrees. If you were out in the sun, it definitely felt a little bit warmer. These northwestern winds have been a nice reward for those warm temperatures we've seen. Not as high as that record set all the way back in 1934 at 32.2 degrees. And we continue to see these days get a little bit longer for just a bit longer. You'll see that sunset tomorrow just before 9 p.m. Here's a look at your forecast. Well, there's those partly cloudy conditions we've been talking about kind of starting to settle in. And yes, we teased the rain before the commercial break, and there is a chance we do see some rain. With the highs tomorrow and the humidity, a slight chance of a thunderstorm as you head into your late afternoon. Taking a look at your temperatures overnight tonight, you are seeing those partly cloudy conditions and a low of 15 really right through the region. Owen Sound, Collingwood, Wasaga Beach, Midland, Orillia, Barrie, as well as Penetanguishene. And what does tomorrow bring? Well, we talked about it. Warm temperatures, highs of 29 right through Collingwood, Wasaga, Barrie, as well as Orillia. A few degrees cooler in Owen Sound, Midland, as well as Penetang at highs of 23. But yes, a slight risk of a thunderstorm later on in the afternoon. Tonight in York Region, a low of 16, partly cloudy conditions, Georgina, Bradford, Orangeville, Newmarket, and Richmond Hill. We'll see those mix of sun and cloud into tomorrow morning as we make our way into sunny conditions. And yes, above 30 degrees as well. 31 in Orangeville, 32 Bradford, Georgina, Newmarket, Richmond Hill. But with that humidity, more of a chance that you could see a little bit of that rumble as you make your way into the late afternoon. Further north you go. Tonight, a lows of 13 degrees in Huntsville as well as Parry Sound, 14 Bracebridge, Gravenhurst, as well as Haliburton. Tomorrow, a little bit cooler than York Region, still below 30, 25 in Huntsville, 21 in Parry Sound, 27 in Bracebridge, Gravenhurst, as well as Haliburton. And once again, a slight risk of a thunderstorm and some rain as you head into those afternoon hours. Let's go and take a look at our extended 5-day forecast brought to you by Diamond & Diamond Lawyers. We talked about the rain. We're going to see it one more time on Saturday before we really get into those sunny conditions. So the rain will cool things off on Saturday momentarily before the sun decides to come back out on Sunday. You'll see highs at 25, 26, and 28 as you head into next week, with lows kind of averaging out around that 15-degree mark. Meanwhile, in York Region, you could see that high of 32 tomorrow. The rain will go right through York Region as well, with a high of 26 before the sun decides to return. 27 on Sunday, 26 on Monday, and 28 degrees on Tuesday. Parry Sound, Muskoka, Haliburton, rainy conditions. You could see a slight chance of some thunderstorms, but more into the afternoon, a little bit more rain. 27 degrees, 21 on Saturday. Slight chance of rain again before it does clear late Saturday afternoon and into Sunday. Highs at 25 degrees, 28 on Monday, and 29 degrees on Tuesday with a nice mix of sun and cloud. And it's Thursday. We're going to start heading into the weekend. You might be starting to think about packing up for the cottage. Well, you're probably wondering what that marine report looks like. And, well, of course, our marine report brought to you by Suzuki Marine. Northern Lake Huron, you could see winds between 10 to 15 knots from the south today. Waves, not really an issue. They're less than half a meter. Meanwhile, in the south, kind of the same conditions. You see about 10 to 15 knots from the south, less than half a meter for the waves. Georgian Bay, south as well, 10 knots, less than half a meter. Lake Simcoe, winds are coming from the northwest, the same winds that we're feeling outside our windows right now in the Barrie area. So yes, it is going to be a fairly nice night if you're hitting the water. And Sarah, what better way to hit the water than going to Georgian Bay? It's my favorite place to be. You want to be there on the weekend.
Luke was actually just talking to me about that area yesterday. There are over 1.8 million Indigenous people living here in Canada, and June is a time dedicated to recognizing and celebrating the rich cultures and contributions of First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people.
In the month of June, we celebrate the contributions of the Indigenous people in Canada, and we remember all of the great things about our country and about the land that came before Canada and the people that came before Canada, and we celebrate every year.
National Indigenous History Month is underway, and today Barrie marked its support with a flag raising and information sessions. Mayor Alex Nuttall and representatives from the Indigenous community are working together to offer opportunities for both education and growth.
This is the time when we celebrate the first people of this land through song, dance, and stories.
There should be a continual learning about the relationship between our today's society, today's community, and the communities that existed far, far, far prior to the Barrie we know today.
June 21st marks National Indigenous Peoples Day with ceremonies and programming planned to recognize the heritage right across the city. You may have noticed a hockey theme if you were at Barrie's Blood Donation Center today, and it's for a very special reason. Representatives from Hockey Gives Blood were on hand to honor a local player. Barrie's Peyton Hargreaves, who was the captain of the University of New Brunswick hockey team, received the Cameron Bolger Memorial Award. Cameron passed away at age 6 following a multi-year battle with brain cancer, during which time he received stem cell transplants and over 50 blood transfusions. The Hockey Gives Blood movement was started following the Humboldt Broncos tragedy.
I wasn't expecting this at all, so thank you.
With that unfortunate circumstances, Stu Middleton founded Hockey Gives Blood with his own personal unfortunate story as well. And we really are blood advocates, and we have player ambassadors almost across every single team in the CHL.
It really hit me that it does impact not just the person that's receiving, but also everyone else affected by it. So it hits home to my family as well. We've been impacted by Canadian Blood Services, so I'm really grateful to do some small part in it.
4.5 million patients need transfusions each year across Canada and the U.S. Fans of Heated Rivalry finally got their chance to order the hit show's iconic Team Canada fleece yesterday, and they didn't waste any time scooping up the merchandise. The fleece had sold out in just minutes after becoming available for pre-order from retailer Province of Canada. The fleece, which was worn by Hudson Williams on the show, didn't come cheap. It sells for $356. 10% of the proceeds will go to You Can Play, which is an organization aimed at addressing homophobia and other forms of discrimination in hockey. Still to come here on CTV Barrie, he's the son of Blue Rodeo's Jim Cuddy, and not only will we be talking to him next, he and his band, Sam Polly and the Other Tomorrows, are going to be on our Troubadour Festival Summer Concert Series stage on Saturday. Don't go anywhere. Recapping our top stories, the CAA released its worst roads across the province today, and 6th line in Innisfil was in 10th place. In Central Ontario, 20th Side Road in Innisfil, Fraserburg Road in Bracebridge, Aurelia's Lackley Street, and Huronia Road in Barrie rounded out the top 5. The final touches are being done at Lakehead STEM Hub in downtown Barrie. The Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics Hub will feature 4 undergraduate programs and graduate program school. Officials say it is scheduled to open to students in the fall. And fire ratings are high in the north. Bracebridge showing the wildland fire risk. The rating is also high in neighboring Severn Township. If you're headed north for the weekend, fire departments are warning to keep an eye on conditions and check for any fire rating or bans before you burn. Well, we know the Roadhammers will be headlining the Troubadour Festival Summer Concert Series stage on Saturday, and opening for them, Toronto-based group Sam Polly and the Old Tomorrows. Sam joins us now to talk a little bit more about the show. So great to have you. For those that aren't familiar, Sam, what can we expect from your sound?
Thanks so much for having me. We play kind of a mix of 60s, 70s style rock and roll, some old country, a little bit of Motown feel to it. To be honest, we try to play anything that can get people up and dancing. The more energy from the crowd and audience, the more that we feel it, and that's kind of the vibe we're always trying to go for. So hopefully a mix of all of those things. If you like oldies, we're going to be a perfect fit for you, that's for sure.
Well, and Sam, speaking of the oldies, for those that don't know, your dad is Jim Cuddy of Blue Rodeo. So does he influence your process at all? Does he give you feedback? What's that like?
Oh, yeah. I mean, first of all, growing up in that musical family kind of meant everything to us. We had a wall of CDs that had every genre possible, from the oldest recordings to new music of that time. And so having free range to kind of pull through that and listen to all kinds of stuff really opened my ears to all kinds of stuff, from old bluegrass stuff that I hadn't heard of, to everything. And so that really shaped the direction that I started to play music and write music in that sense. And then from there, it was just the encouragement. I mean, we were very lucky to come from 2 parents that encouraged us, me, my siblings, especially my brother, who's also a musician, to become professional musicians. I know, unfortunately, a lot of people don't have that support, and it makes an incredibly large difference to know that that's something that you can pursue regardless of what the outcome may be, and just fostering your artistic abilities. So all of those things combined made it a very comfortable transition for me into music, knowing that I had the support and any help that I would need along the way. He's always there with the answer, which is great.
That is so great to hear, Sam. We are so looking forward to seeing you on the stage. I'll be right there with you. Thanks for your time tonight.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah, Sam Polly and the Old Tomorrows will take the stage Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Let's go ahead and pull up the Troubadour website, ctvnews.ca/Barrie, and you've got that little Troubadour link there for all of the details. Turning to business news now, Tim Hortons is shutting down its latest credit card program just a few years after launching it. The company emailed customers to announce the program will shut down on October 1st. Cards will still work after that time, but they'll be managed by Neo Financial, and transactions won't earn Tim's rewards points. This wasn't the first time that Tim's tried a credit card program. The coffee and donut chain partnered with CIBC back in 2014 for its Double Visa card, which was discontinued in 2019. Moving right into our markets on this Thursday, the TSX was up 415 points, the Dow was up 874, and the Nasdaq was down 23. And commodities, oil was down, closing at $93.04 a barrel. Gold was up, finishing at $4,505 an ounce, and our dollar down, ending the day at 71.96 cents US. Time now to talk sports. The Carolina Hurricanes look to avoid falling into a 2-0 hole in the Stanley Cup final when they host the Vegas Golden Knights in Game 2 tonight. Vegas stole home ice advantage with a 5-4 victory in Tuesday's opener and can take a commanding lead before the series shifts west. Games 3 and 4 will be played in Las Vegas. Meanwhile, the Toronto Blue Jays will be looking to avoid a sweep as well as their 5th straight loss when they wrap up their series with the Atlanta Braves tonight.
Swing and a high fly ball deep out to right field. White turning at the fence. It's way gone.
The Jays took the lead on a solo homer in the third inning. However, the Braves hit a pair of homers late in the game to secure a 7-3 victory. First pitch for tonight's game is set for 7:15 p.m. in Atlanta. Still to come, from familiar comedic faces to the return of a hunky private investigator, the fall television lineup has been released, and we were there to take it all in. We'll bring you details next here on CTV News Barrie. Here's a look at your primetime lineup. 4 back-to-back episodes of New Girl starting at 8, followed by Criminal Minds at 10 p.m. and CTV News Barrie at 11. It's been a big day for Bell Media, the parent company of CTV News. The stars are in Toronto for the annual Upfront presentations. That's when the company reveals the new shows coming to Bell Media platforms. CTV's Andrea Case has more.
Yeah, going slow really worked. When Kevin Sussman got the call from the Big Bang Theory producer Chuck Lorre, he was thinking of a spin-off for the show starring his character Stuart Bloom. He was surprised because the start on Big Bang wasn't a smooth one.
My first day, I went up on I forgot my line many times. And I was like, okay, well, moving on. I won't be on this show again. So it was crazy that I wound up, in the end, I was on the original one over 80 times.
Now, 7 years after that show ended, Sussman is back with cast members Lauren Lapkus, Brian Posen, and John Ross Bowie.
You wouldn't look at Brian and think vision board guy, but you'd be wrong. And I kind of put it out there. I won't say I manifested the show.
You manifested it.
But there was a little bit of me going, I said Chuck Lorre into I did a little Beetlejuice, where I would say Chuck Lorre into the mirror. I'm sweating telling you this in person. But I really did that. And that's why my wife, when he called, she was like, oh my God.
The premise of the show is Bloom accidentally breaks a space-time device, triggering an apocalyptic event, forcing the team to travel from universe to universe to restore reality.
I got the call. I had just had my second daughter like a week before, and then Chuck Lorre called me, and I was like, this is the best phone call ever. I have a job, and it's going to be cool. So it was very exciting.
For Canadian actor Scott Speedman, being back here at 299 Queen Street, Bell Media headquarters, brings back a lot of memories. Do you remember Speaker's Corner?
I was driving along Queen Street. I think I got diverted. I knew about this thing that was happening. A lot of kids were auditioning for Batman Forever, the Boy Wonder part, and I was driving along Queen Street. I was actually trying to get to McMaster. I was seeing my friends. They were at school already, my older friends. I was still in high school, and there was enough traffic. I pulled the double park, pulled over, ran in, put my dollar in the Speaker's Corner and said, you know, I want to audition for Boy Wonder, and then my mom got a call like 3 days later or something to come audition, and I did a couple of auditions for Mally Finn, the casting director for Warner Brothers, who was here, and the rest is history.
He didn't get the job, but a career was born. Speedman returns for season 2 of his show, Florida-based PI R.J. Decker. This year, he also takes on the role of executive producer. Andrea Case, CTV News.
Let's check in with Luke one last time for Get Up and Go.
Well, Sarah, these warm temperatures are going to continue right into the morning. For our Get Up and Go forecast, you're seeing about 18 in Barrie, 21 in Newmarket, and 17 in Gravenhurst with a mix of sun and cloud.
Now, we do have some developing news to leave you with tonight. York Regional Police have confirmed that they are investigating a shooting in the parking lot of the Walmart in Keswick. We do have a camera on the way, and Jack will have the very latest tonight on CTV News at 11. Good night.